Battle Through the Heavens Episode 181. The empty realm was completely silent. Chaotic spatial flow surged, hiding a fatal danger. Swoosh. The deafening sound of rushing wind was suddenly transmitted amid the silence. A large cluster of light surfaced from the darkness in the distance. After which, it arrived with a swift speed. The wild and violent wind it stirred caused even the chaotic spatial flow to be torn apart. Big Sister, the three great dragon islands have attacked the Eastern Dragon Island. If they gain our help, they should be able to defeat the Eastern Dragon Island. A black-robed elder beside the leading red-robed woman slowly opened his mouth. His voice was extremely hoarse as a kind of suction force suddenly spread from his mouth. This person was called Kuan Huang. Many of his opponents had been devoured by him after being captured. His ferocious reputation was extremely well known. Many experts would tremble in fear upon hearing his name. There is no need to be in such a hurry. We'll let them fight with each other a little longer. The more deaths the better. The eyes of the red-robed woman flickered as she indifferently spoke. The three great dragon islands requesting our help is something really unexpected. The other elder with a somewhat shady face also laughed in a strange manner. He was Ying Huang of the Heaven Demon 3 Phoenix. Once we have finished off the Eastern Dragon Island and obtained the Dragon Phoenix bloodline, it will only be a matter of time before the three great dragon islands are eliminated by us. The red-robed woman faintly laughed. She waved her sleeve and was just about to speed up when a sense of danger suddenly rumbled within her heart. Before she could react, wave after wave of extremely powerful Do-Chi pillars suddenly erupted from the chaotic spatial flow. These pillars were extremely sharp. They shot into the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribes group in an instant, causing miserable screeches to erupt. Who are you cowardly beings? You actually dare to ambush our Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe? You are seeking death. The red-robed woman suddenly recovered at this moment. She immediately became furious after seeing the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe suffer severe losses in an instant. Her hand suddenly grabbed at the chaotic spatial flow below. The space at that spot became distorted. A bang sounded as the extremely chaotic spatial flow exploded because of her. Ha ha, if we are cowards, why would we intercept your Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe? A loud laugh suddenly resounded as the chaotic spatial flow suddenly parted. Immediately, a figure rushed out of it. Finally, it appeared in front of the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. Both of his hands were waved as a monstrous aura spread. Heaven Demon 3 Phoenix. It has been hundreds of years since we have last met. How are you? Who are you? Feng Huang's eyes contained ill intent as they stared at Yarrow Ming, who had appeared in front of her. She frowned and her eyes immediately turned dark and solemn. Yarrow Ming, you are still alive. It is actually that old demon. Didn't he lose control while training and died? Kuan Huang and Ying Huang were startled upon hearing Feng Huang's words. Even you three old demons have yet to die. Why would I die so easily? Yarrow Ming laughed. Regardless of the reason for being alive, you are really becoming bolder. Looks like the 9 serene deep-ground python tribe has been too comfortable during these years. Could it be that you really think that you can step over my tribe just because we are ranked at the same level? Feng Huang stared at Yarrow Ming with a dark and cold expression. Her tone was extremely sinister. The Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe is really acting in a grand fashion. A faint laugh was suddenly emitted from behind Yarrow Ming. The space beside him slightly fluctuated as a figure slowly appeared in front of everyone. Who are you? Feng Huang's expression was slightly different after seeing the human figure appear beside Yarrow Ming. She could sense that this human figure was actually an advanced 1-star Do Sheng. Xiao Yang. Feng Qing and Zhu Feng behind involuntarily cried out with shocked faces after Feng Huang's words escaped her mouth. Xiao Yang. You are that main culprit that prevented our Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe from obtaining the Dragon Phoenix origin fruit, Xiao Yang? Feng Huang's expression became completely gloomy after hearing these exclamations. She looked at Xiao Yang, grit her teeth, and asked a question. Looks like I am quite well known within the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. Xiao Yang smiled. He randomly glanced at Zhu Feng and Feng Qing. Those two trembled slightly as he did so. It had been 2 years since they had last met. The strength of Feng Qing had remained stagnant. It was likely that this was the sequelae from the soar in her strength after changing bones. Ju Feng, on the other hand, had reached the 9th change peak of the Dozun class. There was only a step between him and the Ban Sheng class. Clearly, this future tribal chief of the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe possessed a great talent. Who? Feng Huang inhaled a deep breath of air before slowly exhaling. Her eyes were dark and solemn as they stared at Xiao Yang and Yarrow Ming's group. From the looks of the situation, it was obvious that they had come with ill intent. Yarrow Ming, are you seeking to start an all-out war between the 9 serene deep-ground Python tribe and the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe? Feng Huang cried out in an icy-cold voice. I have no choice. I have also been invited to help, but instead of helping the 3 great dragon islands, I am helping the Eastern Dragon Island. Yarrow Ming spread his hands and laughed. He was not an ordinary person. It was impossible for him to be frightened by Feng Huang. Her ferocious reputation did not pose much of a threat to him. You 3, we will not attack if you choose to lead your people and turn around now. Xiao Yang smiled as he gave them a choice. Who do you think you are? You dare to demand that we turn around? Moreover, even if we really return, do you really think that nothing will happen to the Eastern Dragon Island? The 3 great dragon islands have likely already surrounded the Eastern Dragon Island. By the time you hurry over, you might only end up finding a wasteland. That shady-faced Feng Huang spoke in a dark and cold voice. Xiao Yang suddenly clenched his fist under his sleeve after hearing this claim. It was unexpected that the 3 large dragon islands were so anxious. They were already attacking. You should get out of this empty realm now. Otherwise, none of you will be able to leave. Xiao Yang frowned. He ceased saying any unnecessary words to the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. He lifted his head and threatened them in a calm voice. Feng Qing's and Ju Feng's twitched upon hearing Xiao Yang's words. This fellow had become arrogant in the 2 years that they had not met. It should be known that there was a total of 3 grand elders on this trip. All of them possessed a genuine Do Sheng strength. They were peak existences of this world. Young fellow, your mother was not even born while this elderless self was dominating the Do Qi continent. A ferocious glint flashed across Ying Huang's eyes after hearing Xiao Yang's unceremonious words. A monstrous Do Qi instantly erupted from his body like a storm. Kill. Feng Huang's face was ice-cold. A voice that was filled with murderous desire was spat from her mouth. Although she could sense that Yarrow Ming's strength had somewhat surpassed her, there were still 3 elite Do Shengs on their side. On the other hand, the other party merely had 2 Do Shengs. They held the advantage in this lineup. How could they simply withdraw just because someone told them to? Ha ha, alright, this king shall test whether your Sky Demon 3 Phoenix has improved during these many years. Yarrow Ming lifted his head and loudly laughed. His body moved as he rushed out. I will fight you myself. Zhu Yi, Kuan Huang, the both of you should deal with that brat. Ying Huang, lead the others to kill off the remaining people. Feng Huang coldly laughed. Her body rushed forward and violently collided with Yarrow Ming without giving in. Immediately, wave after wave of an energy storm that caused one's heart to tremble began to sweep apart. Just one of you will not be able to block me. 2 of you should fight together. Xiao Yang laughed out loud. His body moved and he appeared in front of Kuan Huang. A golden light surged and his body suddenly swelled. A fist that contained an extermination wind was mercilessly thrown. Devouring the world. Kuan Huang's expression changed when he sensed Xiao Yang's powerful attack. He widened his mouth and black vapor surged out. In an instant, it turned into a 1,000-foot-large ferocious mouth that attempted to swallow Xiao Yang's fist. Your appetite is really big. Be careful of being bloated. Xiao Yang coldly laughed after seeing this mouth form. His arm violently shook as the huge black vapor mouth was forcefully shattered. The remaining force poured into Kuan Huang's body. Groan. Kuan Huang let out a soft groan after being struck by Xiao Yang's fist. He staggered back over 100 meters before coming to a halt. His face was a little shocked as he looked at Xiao Yang. They were both advanced 1-star Do Shengs, but Xiao Yang's fighting strength was exceptionally powerful. Second brother, Ying Huang, who was planning on dealing with the little fairy doctors group, was greatly startled after seeing Kuan Huang be sent flying back by Xiao Yang's punch. He hesitated for a moment before moving. Finally, he appeared beside Kuan Huang. His eyes were cautious and dark as they looked at Xiao Yang. He spoke in a deep voice, "There is something strange about this fellow. We should join hands and quickly finish him off." Kuan Huang hesitated a little after hearing this suggestion. In the end, he clenched his teeth and nodded. After the exchange earlier, he understood that his strength could not match Xiao Yang alone. This had caused him to feel a little stifled. Feng Qing and Ju Feng had somewhat pale expressions as they watched this scene from afar. Their eyes were filled with disbelief as they stared at the golden figure. Do Sheng, moreover, he is a Do Sheng who is stronger than elder Kuan Huang. How is this possible? How was it possible that this fellow has been able to improve so much within 2 years? While they were trying their best to surpass Xiao Yang, they had suddenly realized that they were no longer even able to see his back. This was a big blow to the two of them, who were quite proud. Ayo! 2 earth-shaking phoenix cries suddenly reverberated around the empty realm. Kuan Huang's and Ying Huang's bodies instantly swelled. They turned into a half-human half-beast form in the blink of an eye. Waves of extremely wild and violent fluctuations shot out of their bodies like ministorms. They forcefully scattered the chaotic flow within 100,000-foot radius. Ha ha, so what if there are 2 Do Shengs? Today, I shall see just what 2 Do Shengs can do to me. Xiao Yang lifted his head and loudly laughed toward the sky. His laughter was just like thunder. The golden giant stepped through the empty air with an overbearing demeanor. "Young fellow, you are seeking death." Ying Huang's face twitched after hearing Xiao Yang's loudly laugh. He ended up laughing in extreme anger. The two of them had roamed unchallenged over the Dochi continent for many years. Everyone knew of their ferocious reputations. It was unexpected that a young fellow would actually think of stepping on their heads. This was something that their pride could not accept. "Second brother, let's attack together and kill him." Ying Huang extended an arm from his sleeve and formed a sinister dark black eagle claw with it. His claw was 5 feet long and appeared like a sharp long sword. There was a slight curl to it as a frightening force quietly gathered on the edge. Kuan Huang by the side nodded with a gloomy expression after hearing these words. Black vapor surged around him, forming a strange swirl. This was their unique ultimate skill, the devouring spiral. With these swirls protecting their bodies, they would not receive even the slightest damage. It was considered a true absolute defense. Great splitting demon claw. Ying Huang's body moved. A pair of wings that were dozens of feet wide were extended behind him. In a flash, he appeared above Xiao Yang. His large black claw suddenly pressed down. The sharp wind sealed the air around Xiao Yang. After which, he violently grabbed at Xiao Yang's head. Kuan Huang blood stomach. Kuan Huang also unleashed a powerful Do skill while Ying Huang was attacking. Black vapor surged out of his body. It swiftly formed a strange black blob that was a couple 1,000 feet wide under Xiao Yang. At a glance, it appeared like an enormous stomach. A large hole was opened at the top of the stomach, appearing like a large ferocious mouth that wildly bit at Xiao Yang. It seemed as though the stomach was planning to swallow Xiao Yang. The two of them cooperated in an outstanding fashion the moment they attacked. One struck from above while the other attacked from below. They completely sealed off all of Xiao Yang's escape route. Moreover, their attacks were both lethal. They did not even give Xiao Yang the slightest opportunity to retaliate. The renowned ferocity of the two was completely exposed at this moment. Xiao Yang's eyes swiftly swept over the two of them. He did not appear to panic because of these two well-coordinated attacks from Do Shengs. Instead, he extended his hand and suddenly pressed it violently toward the wind claw that was flying above him. Yellow spring finger. The energy within the surrounding space suddenly became wild and violent after the finger was pressed into the air. A huge deep yellow figure appeared from nowhere. After which, the rumbling space was accompanied by a frightening momentum as it violently collided with the claw made of wind. Great heaven creation palm. Xiao Yang did not stop after pressing forward. His right palm suddenly slammed down. An enormous black light spread with lightning-like speed. It surrounded that large black stomach as a powerful suction force erupted and forcefully dragged the stomach in. Bang! The claw wind and the giant black stomach were shattered by Xiao Yang's sharp retaliation. Being the source of the attacks, both Ying Huang and Kuan Huang were implicated. The blood within their bodies churned. The Do skills that this brat has practiced are all Tian-class Do skills. Moreover, he has unleashed them with such familiarity. Xiao Yang's immediate retaliation finally caused Kuan Huang's and Ying Huang's expressions to change. Their eyes swiftly swept over the battle between Feng Huang and Yarrow Ming. Their hearts began to sink after noticing that Feng Huang was at a slight disadvantage. Elder Ming, you should lead the remaining people to finish off that group from the Heaven Phoenix tribe. Xiao Yang spoke in a deep voice after forcing Kuan Huang and Ying Huang back with a finger and a palm. This voice sounded beside the ear of the intermediate Ban Sheng elder from the 9 serene deep-ground Python tribe. Elder Ming did not dare to slight the order upon hearing this. The might that Xiao Yang had displayed earlier caused his heart to tremble. Although he was an expert Ban Sheng, he understood that he would not last 5 exchanges against Xiao Yang if Xiao Yang wished to attack him. Everyone, follow me. Today, we will show the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe the strength of our 9 serene deep-ground Python tribe. Elder Ming loudly cried out. He took the lead to charge toward the group of experts from the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. Currently, there was no longer any Ban Sheng experts present in the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe's lineup. The strongest was Ju Feng, who was at the peak of the Dozun class, but the gap between a peak Dozun and a Ban Sheng was extremely great. Hence, the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe might have a numerical superiority, but they still ended up being defeated by Elder Ming's ferocious charge. Bastard! How dare you! Deaths had occurred among the experts from the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe after brief contact. Kuan Huang and Ying Huang were immediately furious. However, a figure suddenly appeared in front of them just as they took a step forward. Get lost! Xiao Yang's expression was ice-cold as he looked at those two. He spread his palm and the Do Qi within his body began to gather there like a storm. A frightening fluctuation began to rapidly spread. Yellow spring palm. Do Qi spread apart like waves of the ocean. Xiao Yang remained expressionless as his right hand suddenly slammed toward those two. The empty realm began to fluctuate after Xiao Yang's palm came down. His large handprint appeared just like the sky as it gathered above Kuan Huang's and Ying Huang's heads. After which, it was accompanied by a monstrous destructive momentum as it came smashing down. It penetrated through the air, collapsing the air itself an inch at a time. The sonic boom reverberated with a bang. The huge palm came pressing down like a mountain. Kuan Huang's and Ying Huang's expressions became completely grave upon sensing the destructive strength that it contained. Ayo! A loud and clear phoenix cry echoed through the empty realm. Kuan Huang and Ying Huang's bodies both suddenly swelled. In the blink of an eye, they turned into 2 10,000-foot-large Heaven Demon Phoenix. They flapped their enormous wings and 2,000-foot-wide light pillars shout out of their mouths and violently struck that enormous handprint. Boom! That collision was just like 2 meteorites colliding with each other. That frightening collision force whistled and spread like a tsunami. Suppress them. Xiao Yang's eyes became cold after seeing these two join together to block the yellow spring palm. The clan tattoo slowly surfaced on his brow. His aura also instantly soared. Within a couple of blinks, he had soared from an advanced 1-star Do Sheng to the 2nd star of the Do Sheng class. This is bad, that brat's aura has suddenly soared. Xiao Yang's transformation was also detected by Kuan Huang and Ying Huang. Their expressions immediately changed. Before they could flee, the enormous handprint above their heads suddenly pressed down. Those 2,000-foot-wide light pillars shattered apart. Die! Xiao Yang's eyes were densely cold. The yellow spring palm came smashing down. It ruthlessly surrounded the enormous bodies of the two fighting. A frightening flame shot out as the seal landed. Hiss! After suffering this terrifying attack, their Heaven Demon Phoenix flesh immediately split apart. Fresh blood came streaming out, continuously erupting from their bodies. Deep explosive sound rippled over their bodies. Half of their dense white bones were even exposed. This firm palm turned the two of them into cripples. The two Grand Elders have actually lost to Xiao Yang. Kuan Huang and Ying Huang's miserable defeat was sensed by the Heaven Demon Phoenix Tribe's experts, who were bitterly blocking Elder Ming and the Little Fairy Doctors group. Their faces turned completely pale. Ju Feng and Feng Qing revealed stunned eyes. Neither of them had expected Xiao Yang to be this powerful. Seal them. Xiao Yang stepped through the empty realm. He appeared above the heads of Kuan Huang and the other elder in a ghost-like fashion. His hands rapidly formed various seals. Finally, two mysterious light pillars shot into the two Heaven Demon Phoenixes' heads. Their bodies rapidly shrank before they returned to their human forms in the blink of an eye. However, there was an additional mysterious symbol on their foreheads. This sealing method could only succeed when the other party was unable to put up any resistance. Xiao Yang's ice-cold eyes shifted to the experts from the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe after successfully sealing Kuan Huang and Ying Huang. Those experts immediately began to shudder after seeing him look over. Even the two Grand Elders together were unable to block this person. What could they do? Flee. Everyone faced each other. A shock rose within their hearts. All of them moved at the same time as they fled in all directions, trying to escape. Xiao Yang coldly laughed after seeing them try to flee. His hand aimed into the distance before it was clenched. That empty space immediately solidified into an invisible cage. With a wave of his sleeve, the cage itself began to rapidly shrink. Those Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe experts were all trapped within an invisible cage that was less than 100 feet in size. They were unable to do anything regardless of how they struggled. Those experts from the 9 Serene Deep Ground Python tribe quietly wiped off their cold sweat upon seeing this overwhelming scene. It was no different for Elder Ming. The strength that Xiao Yang had displayed allowed him to understand the words absolute suppression. Xiao Yang slowly sighed in relief only after sealing Kuan Huang and Ying Huang and suppressing Heaven Demon Phoenix experts. He had used all of his strength in order to do this. Fighting two Do Shungs alone had exhausted him. If there had been an additional person, even Xiao Yang would have been dragged into a long battle. Xiao Yang rested for a moment after performing all of this. Only then did he lift his head and glance at Feng Huang and Yarrow Ming's intense battle. He involuntarily laughed before crying out loud, "Feng Huang, both Kuan Huang and Ying Huang has been defeated. If you continue fighting, I will kill one person after every 10 count. What?" Feng Huang and Yarrow Ming, who were in an extremely intense battle, hurriedly turned after hearing Xiao Yang's cold cry. They hurriedly scanned the situation with their eyes. They were a little stunned to see Kuan Huang and Ying Huang had been captured by Xiao Yang's hands. At this moment, blood covered their bodies. Their faces were pale and their eyes were shut. No one knew if they were even still alive. How is this possible? Even with Feng Huang's calm demeanor, she could not help but feel a giddiness upon seeing this scene. Her face was filled with disbelief as she muttered, "Ha ha, good. Brother Xiao Yang is really domineering. You have actually managed to finish off these two old demons with such speed despite fighting against the two of them alone. I wonder just what kind of a commotion this will stir if this matter is transmitted back to the Beast region." Yarrow Ming was the first to recover and laugh. His heart began to think even more highly of Xiao Yang. Although Yarrow Ming was an advanced 2-star Dosheng, he was not absolutely confident he could defeat Xiao Yang. Moreover, the longer Yarrow Ming had been in contact Xiao Yang, the more he felt that Xiao Yang was unfathomable. Xiao Yang's strength was one of the key reasons why Yarrow Ming had swiftly chosen to help the Eastern Dragon Island instead of the 3 Great Dragon Islands. Xiao Yang's current strength might only be that of an advanced 1-star Dosheng at this moment, but it was the first time that Yarrow Ming had met such a young 1-star Dosheng. Who could understand the limit of this kind of monstrous talent? At his level, he not only needed to look at the current situation when befriending others, he needed to look at the other party's potential. From the way Yarrow Ming saw it, the potential that Xiao Yang possessed was definitely terrifying. Otherwise, he would have difficulty agreeing to attack the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe just after regaining his position. The Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe was not a faction that was easy to deal with. Being part of the 3 great tribes, The 9 serene deep-ground python tribe was clearly aware of this. The ancient void dragon tribe had been in hiding during these years. Hence, the heaven demon phoenix tribe had undoubtedly become the true overlord of the magical beast world. Even the 9 serene deep-ground python tribe was a little weaker when compared to them. Xiao Yang, our heaven demon phoenix tribe will not rest until we kill you if you dare to kill them. Feng Huang slowly recovered from her shock. She inhaled a deep breath of air and ruthlessly stared at Xiao Yang as she cried out in a deep voice. The heaven demon phoenix tribe and I have already formed a grudge with each other. Would I dare to appear in front of you if I was really afraid? Xiao Yang faintly smiled upon hearing this threat. He immediately withdrew his smile as he coldly said, I do not wish to waste my breath on you now. Do not doubt my methods. If you are really stubborn, I do not mind being merciless and forcing your heaven demon phoenix tribe to lose a couple pieces of flesh. Feng Huang was startled upon seeing Xiao Yang's uncaring eyes. The curses that had reached her mouth were swallowed back into her stomach. Although she did not know Xiao Yang very well, she was able to sense the dense tone in his words. What are you planning to do? Feng Huang could only furiously cry out after being forced into a helpless situation. Every elite Do Sheng was an extremely precious treasure within the tribe, even to a super faction like the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. Losing even one Do Sheng would undoubtedly cause the Heaven Demon Phoenix to feel the pain of its flesh being cut. If Xiao Yang were to really kill Kuan Huang and Ying Huang in anger, the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe would end up vomiting blood. I do not wish to do anything. I only hope that the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe will not interfere in the matters of the ancient Void Dragon tribe. Xiao Yang grinned and replied, even if we do not intervene, the Eastern Dragon Island will still not be able to fight the 3 Great Dragon Islands. Do you really think that the Eastern Dragon Island can fight with the combined strength of the 3 Great Dragon Kings by relying on a dragon phoenix that has yet to mature? Feng Huang coldly cried out. This is none of your concern. Xiao Yang's eyes looked at Feng Huang as he faintly replied. You have 2 choices now. Either you stay or leave. If you stay, I will join hands with Tribal Chief Yaroming to capture you. After which, I will kill your so-called Heaven Demon 3 Phoenix. If you chose to leave, please do so immediately. Additionally, help me deliver a message back to the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. Tell them not to get involved in matters that do not relate to them. I'm afraid that you do not have the ability to do so. Kuan Huang and Ying Huang were merely at a disadvantage from having underestimated their opponent. That is why they were seriously injured by you. After which, you placed a seal on them before they could recover. Although I cannot defeat both you and Yaroming, the both of you will also suffer if I self-destruct. Feng Huang immediately pressed her brows together after hearing Xiao Yang mention capturing her in such a causal fashion, but she was not an ordinary person either. She coldly laughed as she came up with a plan. You are indeed worthy of being the big sister of the Heaven Demon 3 Phoenix, Xiao Yang laughed. His palms slowly grabbed the heads of Ying Huang and Kuan Huang as he uttered, in that case, you should hurry up and make up your mind. I want to see whether it is faster to self-destruct or for me to shatter the monster cause of these 2. Feng Huang's expression changed after hearing this test. She clenched her teeth and stared at Xiao Yang. However, Xiao Yang's expression did not change because of her gaze. He slowly began to increase the grip of his hands. All right, I will agree with you. The Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe will no longer get involved in the matters related to the ancient Void Dragon tribe. Release them and I will bring them back. Feng Huang slumped after facing Xiao Yang for a moment. She finally clenched her teeth and spoke. Ha ha, how decisive. I can release the others but not Ju Feng and these 2. Xiao Yang smiled. His hand reached at the locked space. The panicked Ju Feng was grabbed by the space around him before being pulled to Xiao Yang's side. After which, Xiao Yang tapped Ju Feng his hand and sealed the Do Qi within Ju Feng. It looks like you are not sincere in this transaction. Feng Huang spoke with an icy-cool tone. Do you really treat me as a fool? If I hand them over to you, you will return to the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe and make preparations to dispatch even more experts. Xiao Yang coldly laughed as he said, these 3 people are hostages. If your Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe insists on participating in the matters of the ancient Void Dragon tribe, you can prepare to collect their corpse. However, if you really cease having such thoughts, I will naturally let them go once the ancient Void Dragon tribe's internal chaos is resolved. The Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe is not an ordinary faction. I understand that I will form an enmity that can never be resolved with you if I kill them. Hence, as long as you do not eat your words, I will definitely keep mine. Whether you believe me or not is your problem. All you need to remember is that I am not having a discussion with you now. Instead, I am threatening you. Xiao Yang's grip on the heads of Ying Huang and Kuan Huang slowly emitted a cracking sound. His eyes were dark and cold as they stared at Feng Huang. Now, you should immediately get back to the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe and get your tribal chief to think through this matter carefully. Do you wish to keep this future tribal chief and these two grand elders, or do you wish to intervene in the matters of the ancient Void Dragon tribe? Feng Huang's body trembled in fury because of Xiao Yang's extremely rude tone. She boasted some status within the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe and the Central Plains. Since when had anyone dared to speak to her like this? However, regardless of how her anger gushed out of her heart, she also understood that the person in control was Xiao Yang. Moreover, if Xiao Yang was to really join hands with Yaroming, she would likely end up in their hands unless she chose to self-destruct. The empty realm was completely quiet. Everyone had been violently shaken by Xiao Yang's words. Hand the people to me. I will carry your words back. Feng Huang inhaled a deep breath of air before she finally opened her mouth and spoke with a gloomy expression. Xiao Yang waved his sleeve. The distorted space cage immediately disappeared. A wind pushed all of the experts from the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe to Feng Huang's side. However, Zhu Feng, Kuan Huang, and Ying Huang were still in Xiao Yang's hands. Elder Feng Huang. The Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe elders stood beside Feng Huang in embarrassment. It was unexpected that they had become the hostages of another. Shut up, you pieces of trash. Feng Huang was extremely furious at this moment. She immediately cursed out loud, causing the faces of those elders to alternate between white and green, but none of them dared to say anything more. Xiao Yang, you are really bold. My Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe will remember this. If anything happens to them, our Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe will never rest until you are dead. Feng Huang's ice-cold eyes landed on Xiao Yang as she cried out in a cold voice. Her heart felt stifled. This time around, she had gone through much difficulty to lead this group out, but it was unexpected that they had ended up meeting this nemesis soon after stepping into the empty realm. Not only had they lost some people, but the other party had taken 3 of them as hostages. She wondered just how many strange looks she would receive if she returned in defeat. Ha ha, Elder Feng Huang, you can rest assured that as long as the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe keeps its word, I will definitely guarantee their safety. Xiao Yang smiled. He immediately changed his tone as he said, I will constantly monitor the activities of the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. If there is anything amiss, I will deliver ahead to you. The corner of Feng Huang's mouth twitched. Fury shot out of her eyes, but she ultimately suppressed the fury in her heart. Her hand violently slid across the empty space in front of her and a spatial crack appeared. Her body entered the crack without any hesitation. The so-called elders of the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe behind her hurriedly poured in like a school of fish. All of them were afraid of Xiao Yang striking them at this moment. The entire space became quiet after the final Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe expert disappeared into the spatial crack. Yaroming blinked his eyes. He involuntarily laughed out loud a moment later. Brother Xiao Yang, I, Yaroming, have seldom admired anyone, but I have no choice but to do so this time around. This Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe has suffered a great loss this time around. I wonder just how many people will quietly laugh at them if this matter spreads through the Beast region. Yaroming lifted his thumb to Xiao Yang and laughed. Xiao Yang slightly smiled. He tossed the 3 people in his hands to the elders from the 9 serene deep-ground python tribe. The elders hurriedly caught them. An elite Do Sheng is not someone that can simply be created at will. The Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe's foundation will suffer a great blow if they lose these 2 old ghosts. This loss is something that they cannot accept. Xiao Yang smiled as he spoke. Hardly any faction on the continent could afford the price of 2 genuine Do Shungs. Even the Sky Mansion would truly lose its limbs if it lost the first elder from the small pill tower or ancestor Huayun. What should we do now? Yarrow Ming grinned and asked. Head to the eastern Dragon Island. Xiao Yang softly sighed. The smile on his face was slowly withdrawn. His eyes looked to the deepest part of the empty realm. Based on what Feng Huang had said earlier, the eastern Dragon Island had been surrounded by the 3 great Dragon Islands. Ziyang might also be in danger. Let's not delay any longer and get moving. Xiao Yang began to frown slightly after thinking of her being surrounded. He waved his hand and ceased remaining any longer. His body moved, and he rushed to the deepest part of the empty realm at full speed. Yarrow Ming, the little fairy doctor, Qing Lin, and the rest quickly followed behind. Ziyang, nothing must happen to you. A cluster of lights flashed across the empty realm. Its speed was as quick as lightning. In a flash, it appeared at the edge of the darkness before finally disappearing. Brother Xiao Yang, with our speed, we should be able to reach the eastern Dragon Island in another 10+ minutes. Yarrow Ming lifted his eyes and looked in the distance where the flowing light was. He turned his head and spoke to Xiao Yang beside him. Let's increase our speed. Xiao Yang slightly nodded. His eyes looked to the depths of the darkness as the fist in his sleeve was slowly clenched. He waved his sleeve and his speed once again soared. Yarrow Ming and the rest could only hurriedly follow him upon seeing him go even faster. Wait, there is a familiar aura. This flight continued for a couple of minutes before Xiao Yang's body suddenly stilled. He frowned as he looked to a part of the empty realm to his left. Bang! An intense energy explosion was emitted from within the empty space. Immediately, a figure spat out blood and pulled back, falling into a group of people. The figure's face was pale as his eyes furiously looked around him. Over 10 figures appeared in the surroundings a moment later. All of their auras were extremely powerful. Clearly, they were all very strong, especially the 2 elders leading them. Their auras appeared ordinary, but there was a terrifying pressure spreading from them. They were surprisingly 2 peak experts who had reached the Ban Sheng class. 3 great Dragon Islands, you people are really bold to attack Her Majesty, the Dragon Emperor. There were around 7 to 8 figures surrounded by the 10 individuals, but most of them were seriously injured. There were 2 familiar faces among these people. If one were to carefully look at them, they were He Qing, who had helped Xiao Yang a couple of times, and Elder Zhu Li, whom Xiao Yang had met once before. Only these 2 within the group appeared to be in a slightly better state, but their faces were currently extremely gloomy. They had been out on patrol. Who would have expected them to learn of the 3 large Dragon Islands' attack on the eastern Dragon Island upon returning from the patrol? Before they could hurry back with great speed, they ended up meeting this group from the 3 large Dragon Islands, which had sealed the eastern Dragon Island. A big battle immediately erupted. The result was something that need not be mentioned. With 2 Ban Shungs, the other party had easily defeated them and had chased them here. Clearly, the other party was planning on eliminating all of them. Zhu Li, the 3 great Dragon Kings are the true rulers. You people have found some fake from an unknown place in an attempt to unite the ancient Void Dragon. It is really too naive of you. A man wearing battle armor mockingly glanced at Zhu Li and laughed. He was one of the commanders of this unit and possessed the strength of an intermediate Ban Sheng. You would know better than I do in your hearts whether it is a fake. It looks like you people have already forgotten the rules of our tribe under the rule of the 3 great Dragon Kings. Zhu Li's expression was gloomy as he commented on the situation. That old armored man frowned slightly upon hearing these words. His expression was a little unnatural. Within the ancient Void Dragon tribe, the royal clan held absolute authority over the ordinary tribe members. The pressure that originated from within the bloodline caused an ordinary tribe member to be afraid of fighting against the royal clan. The 2 of them possessed a high status within the 3 great Dragon Islands. Naturally, they also understood that the young Dragon Emperor on the eastern Dragon Island did indeed possess an extremely pure royal bloodline, but they had been ruled by the 3 Dragon Kings for many years, so their way of thinking had been altered. They might not dare to directly attack that young Dragon Emperor, but they did not feel much fear while attacking the others. Qian Xian, Do not waste your breath with this old fellow. Quickly finish them off. The resistance from the Eastern Dragon Island is more intense than we expected. We must return quickly." A red-faced old man impatiently waved his hand and cried out as he stood beside that old armored man. "Two old bastards, your three Great Dragon Island do not have the ability to destroy my Eastern Dragon Island. Once the Dragon Emperor becomes stronger, your three Great Dragon Islands will simply wait to die." He Qing furiously cursed. "That is only if you can wait until that time comes," the red-faced old man coldly laughed. His eyes immediately turned cold as he threw a palm at He Qing across the empty space. A frightening wind tore through the air and swiftly smashed into He Qing's body with lightning-like speed. Grug. The current He Qing might have reached the 8th change peak of the Dozun class, but how could he compare with a high-level Bansheng? The armor on his body immediately crumbled. A large mouthful of blood was spat out as his body collided with a few other tribe members behind him. "You old fellow who doesn't know his limit. How dare you roar at this elder?" That red-faced old man coldly laughed with disdain after causing He Qing to spit out blood and fly back with a palm. "You damn bastard." He Qing's eyes immediately turned red after suffering this heavy blow. His body suddenly swelled to twice its size. "Kill all of them. Do not allow anyone to live." The red-faced old man coldly smiled and shook his head upon seeing He Qing go mad. He simply waved his hand and gave a command. "How dare you?" Zhu Li became furious. A monstrous Do Chi erupted as he threw a punch forward. A vast and mighty Do Chi gathered into a 1,000-foot-large dragon that crazily charged toward the red-faced old man. Roar! The body of that old armored man swelled as Zhu Li attacked. In the blink of an eye, he turned into a half-man half-dragon combat state. He roared at the sky before shooting forward like a cannonball. With just a punch, he completely shattered the giant energy dragon. "Zhu Li, both of our strengths are similar. How will you fight me now that you are injured?" That elder, who had turned into a half-dragon, stepped through empty air. His body strangely appeared above Elder Zhu Li's head as a large dragon claw violently tore through the air. It was accompanied by an extremely sharp wind. Bang! Elder Zhu Li clenched his teeth as this extremely ferocious attack came down from above. An armor with dragon symbols on it appeared around his body. After which, the armor appeared like a furious dragon as it violently collided with that half-dragon elder. Bang bang! That red-faced elder coldly smiled and waved his sleeve as Elder Zhu Li engaged that half-man half-dragon elder in an intense battle. Each time he did so, a warrior from the Eastern Dragon Island spit out blood and fall back. The armor on their bodies would also explode. Finally, the warriors from the three great dragon tribes would pounce on that warrior from the Eastern Dragon Island. "I will fight with you until the end." A fierce fury immediately erupted within He Qing's eyes after seeing his tribe members being captured one after another. A crazy punch smashed into two figures heading his way, causing them to vomit blood and fly back. His foot stomped through the air as his body shot toward that red-faced elder with lightning-like speed. "An ant-like existence actually dares to challenge me?" The red-faced old man coldly laughed and shook his head upon seeing this attack. He clenched his fist and dense scales swiftly appeared. He quickly threw a punch as a deep sonic boom formed under his fist with a bang. After which, it collided with He Qing, who had explosively shot over. Bang! This hard collision caused the red-faced elder's body to barely tremble. He also took half a step back. On the other hand, He Qing's arm revealed a vein and emitted a puff sound as it shot out many blood arrows. The vague sound of bones cracking also appeared. His hand feebly fell as his body flew back a distance of 10,000 feet. Only then did he slowly come to a halt. He Qing remained suspended in the empty realm with blood covering his body. The strength in his body had been shattered by a punch from the red-faced old man. If his physical body wasn't extremely strong, that punch would likely have blasted his body apart. "Am I going to die?" He Qing's eyes gradually became blurry. At this moment, he had been seriously injured by that red-faced old man. Although he felt dissatisfied in his heart, he also understood that there was an extremely big gap between him and the other party. "Relax, I will throw you into the dragon tomb once you are dead. It can be considered a resting place for you," The space in front of He Qing fluctuated as the red-faced elder appeared. His eyes were cold and indifferent as they looked at He Qing. After which, he slowly lowered his body and placed his hand gently above He Qing's head. A cold glint surged within his somewhat turbid eyes. Huazhon, the Dragon Emperor will not let you off if you dare to kill him. Elder Zhu Li, who was being dragged into distance, felt his body turn ice-cold upon seeing He Qing's situation. His eyes were blood-red as he roared. He, the Dragon Emperor? That is only if she can survive the combined strength of the 3 Dragon Kings. That red-faced old man shook his head and ridiculed. He lowered his head and looked at He Qing, who was planning to gather his strength to unleash an attack. He continued with pity in his voice, "You are really an extremely hard character. Unfortunately, you have chosen the wrong side." He Qing shook his head somewhat impatiently after uttering those words. He grabbed the top of He Qing's head and slowly used his strength. The victory this time around belongs to the 3 Great Dragon Islands, but you can rest assured that many people will accompany you. At the very least, you will not feel lonely. A cruel smile surfaced on the red-faced old man's face. His sharp fingers gently pressed down and formed 5 bloody holes in He Qing's head, but he suddenly sensed a somewhat ice-cold hand quietly land on his head as he was about to shatter He Qing's head. At the same time, a soft voice was slowly transmitted into his ear. His body completely stilled like a statue. "Tell me, do you think that you will be able to shatter his head faster than me doing the same to yours?" He Qing, who had already shut his eyes to await death, suddenly opened both of his eyes upon hearing the soft voice that did not contain any anger. A familiar skinny figure was appeared in his eyes. Xiao Yang. This video will end here.